Hi, Wolfpack. Miss Freeman here. I'm going to do the PTMS student expectations talks. We did them in PE class last week, but for those of you in ISPE or anyone who missed the talks, I'm going to do a quick review for you today. All right. Our goal is to keep you safe and healthy so that you can focus on learning and enjoying your middle school experience. Masks. Masks are required indoors at all times. Masks are optional outdoors. It's a good idea if you are in a crowded space or sitting close to people to wear those masks outdoors, though. And if you ever need a mask break, just ask your teacher. Lunch. Lunch lines are long, we know, but they are moving quickly. All students are currently being served lunch in about 10 to 12 minutes. There is no cutting or saving places in line for friends. Get an adult's attention if someone is not following the rules and you need any assistance. Please do not handle people cutting in line on your own. Check the website ahead of time to see what is being served for breakfast and lunch each day. And keep in mind that breakfast is served before school or during break. You can't get breakfast at both, but you can choose one or the other. Tardies. This is the time of year where we start to see a lot of tardies. So you get a tardy when you are late for class. So you need to be in your seat, ready to learn when the tardy bell rings. To review kind of the tardy bells. So, for example, in the morning, 2 bells ring. A bell rings at 8:15, and that bell tells us to start heading to class. Then a bell rings at 8:20. The 8:20 bell tells us that the 8:20 bell, is the tardy bell, and that we need to be in our class. If you are not in your seat at 8:20, your teacher is going to mark you tardy. 3 tardies equals a detention. It's a 30-minute after-school detention with Miss Freeman. We will contact your parents and set up that detention if you get 3 tardies. We do realize sometimes you are late in the morning and it is not your fault. There might be traffic, there might have been an accident, there might have been an issue with your ride to school that morning. Parents can communicate with attendants and excuse a morning tardy. So if that is an issue, please have your parents call the office and excuse that morning tardy, and then they will not count against you. Keeping our campus clean. The first couple weeks of school, Wolfpack, there was a lot of trash on our campus after break and lunch. The last few weeks, though, I have seen a big improvement and people are throwing their trash away. If everyone throws their own trash away, we will not have any issues. And with COVID, no one wants to be touching other people's trash. I don't want to touch your trash. You don't want to touch other people's trash. So if we all throw our own trash away, we will have a nice, clean campus. Keep in mind, though, areas that are not kept clean at lunch will be closed and you will not have access to them for the next lunch. So if you and your friends enjoy your spot, make sure you are keeping it clean and have access to it the next day. Bikes, scooters, and skateboards. Students should be walking bikes, skateboards, and scooters when on campus. That includes on sidewalks entering and exiting campus. We have bike, skateboard, and scooter racks on campus, and students should be locking their equipment up to prevent theft. We have seen we have had several incidences of theft on our campus where people have come by and stolen bikes specifically. So it's important that students are locking them up. We also expect that all students are wearing helmets when riding any equipment. CCA, our high school next door. We want to be polite to our CCA neighbors. Many of our wolves are going to be ravens in just a year or two. So we are polite by not cutting through their parking lot. If you do have a sibling or a carpool that you meet over in the CCA parking lot, you need to walk using sidewalks and crosswalks. If you are going to cut through their parking lot, you need to walk your bikes, scooters, or skateboards on the sidewalks and crosswalks. Remember, be polite, and they are happy to welcome us into their community. Hallway safety. We are getting a lot of reports from students and staff that our hallways are busy and a little crazy. We have almost 900 students on our campus. We are the largest middle school in the San Diego Union High School district. If everybody would walk and leave a little space in front of them, we are going to remain safe. So no running in the hallways, no running in the stairwells. And when you are walking, leave space in front of you, space between you and the person in front of you, and that will prevent us from having any accidents. Chromebooks and cell phones. A little bit about Chromebooks. Everyone on campus now has been given a Chromebook. So you need to bring your Chromebook charged to campus with you each day. If you forget your Chromebook, don't panic. Just see Miss Richards and the Learning Commons for a loaner. You check it out in the morning, and you can return it to her at the end of the day. Cell phones. Now that everyone has Chromebooks on campus, you have all of the technology you need to be successful in school right there in that Chromebook. So cell phones are not necessary on campus. If you have a cell phone, your cell phone should be put away unless specifically given permission to have it out. If you have your cell phone out when you are not supposed to, we do what's called progressive discipline. So the first time you have your cell phone out when you're not supposed to, your cell phone is taken away by the teacher, and that teacher will give it back to you at the end of the period. The second time you get your cell phone taken away, your teacher is going to bring it up to me in the office, and you can pick it up from me, Miss Freeman, at the end of the day. The third time you get your cell phone taken away, your teacher is going to bring it up to me, Miss Freeman, in the office, and your parents will come pick it up from me at the end of the day. Keep in mind that our office closes at 3:30. So if your parents are unable to pick up your phone by 3:30, your phone may be locked up here in our office for the night. Dress code. There is a lot of information about the dress code, and our complete dress code policy is posted on our school website. I think what's important for us to remember here is that we need to dress appropriately for school. So that means that we need to wear clothes that do not advertise or promote drugs, alcohol, or tobacco products, that don't display any foul language, symbols, or weapons. We also want to make sure that our clothing doesn't display any undergarments and or show our midriff at all. Also, it is hot right now, and when it is hot, sometimes people wear less clothing. So we want to make sure that we are wearing appropriate clothes, an appropriate amount of clothing for school. If you guys have any questions, feel free to come see Principal Neskin or myself about the dress code. Before and after school. Keep in mind that rules apply before and after school. So if you are on your way to school or on your way home from school, school rules apply within a reasonable amount of time. We say that because sometimes when issues happen on campus, students will take the issue off campus. For example, a fight. Students don't want to fight on campus and have consequences on campus, so they will meet after campus, let's say at the rec center, to have a fight so that they avoid school consequences. There are still school consequences if a fight occurs after school on the way home for those fighting and those watching and or filming a fight after school. So please be sure that you are following all school rules on your way to and from school. If any issues are going on your way to school or from school, if you are concerned about safety, hear, see anything, and you want to talk to someone, please come see Principal Neskin or myself or anyone up here in the office so that we can help you. There are supervised opportunities after school. Boys and Girls Club has sports here, or the Boys and Girls Club if Carmel Valley has supervised after school opportunities. We also have academic power hour in the Learning Commons from 3 to 4, Monday through Thursday for after school tutoring. We like to tell parents that the village and the rec center are unsupervised areas after school, and we discourage students from hanging out there as they are unsupervised. This is a kindergarten rule that we are bringing back for middle school. Everyone needs to keep their hands and their feet to themselves. If everyone keeps their hands, feet, and other objects to themselves, we will have much less issues at lunchtime. We are seeing a lot of horseplay during lunch where students are taking each other's backpack, taking each other's hats, flat tiring each other, squirting each other with water bottles, silly things. They're playing games with friends, but sometimes that other friend can get very angry where a joke turns bad and the other person that the joke is getting played on does not have a good time and does not have a good day. So we need to keep in mind, we need to keep our hands, our feet, and our objects to ourselves, and we will have a good day. All right. Consequences, just like with the phone, we do what's called progressive discipline. So kind of levels up. So level one is warnings and reminders. So you might have a conversation and we will remind you of the school rules. Level two, phone call home, and maybe a detention, lunch detention, or an after school detention. Level three, referral to the assistant principal, consequences assigned as appropriate. So we would decide what the appropriate consequences would be. And then level four, we would be looking at things like suspension, expulsion, or possibly contacting law enforcement. So there are kind of levels of consequences depending on what the offense was. Few things to leave you with before I sign off. If we all remember to be kind, to be polite, to be patient, and be respectful, we are going to have an awesome year. I am so happy everyone is back on campus. It has been a whirlwind first couple of weeks, but it has been so great to see everyone back here. So please remember, be kind, be polite, be patient with your friends, with your teachers, with the staff on campus, with your family. We are going to have a great year. Yeah, go Wolfpack.